I was 26, a junior project coordinator with a job that never really ended. The kind where emails came in at 10 at night, and you answered them because everyone else did. Most nights I ate dinner at my desk. Leftover pad thai or whatever had been sitting in the break room fridge long enough that nobody claimed it. When I finally went home, it was to an apartment that always felt temporary, like I had just moved in even though 2 years had passed. I was not unhappy. I was not much of anything. The office was open plan, all glass and low partitions. You could see everyone all the time, which somehow meant you stopped really seeing anyone at all. I knew names. I knew who drank coffee black and who microwaved fish every Thursday, but I did not know people. Emma worked 2 rows over from me. She was a senior analyst, 41. I knew her age because someone mentioned it during her birthday thing in the conference room. I did not go, I had a call. She had dark hair with gray, starting to show at the temples. She wore the same black blazer most days and used a coffee mug that said "World's Okay, employee." I had seen her in meetings. She did not talk much, but when she did, people listened. That was all I knew. In March, I got assigned to her team for a month-long municipal infrastructure audit. Boring work, but big. Lots of late nights. The first week was just emails and shared files. The second week, we actually talked. She stayed late reviewing data. I stayed late because I always did. Around 8, she knocked on the side of my desk and asked if I had eaten. I said no. She said she had not either. We decided to split a pizza from the place down the block. We ate in the conference room because the break room lights kept turning off on us. She asked about my background. College internship, this job. That was it. She told me she was divorced, no kids, lived north of the city. It was not awkward. Just 2 people eating pizza. We did that a few more times. She gave me a ride home twice when it got late, and I had taken the bus. Her car smelled like coffee and something soft, maybe lavender. The third week, something happened that stuck with me. We were stopped at a red light, and I made a dumb joke about feeling old because my back hurt from sitting all day. She looked at me, half smiling, and said I was young, said she was older than me. I do not know why I said what I said next. It just came out. I said love never cares about age. The light turned green. She drove without answering. My face felt hot. I stared out the window. When she dropped me off, I said thanks and went inside. I stood in my kitchen for 10 minutes, trying to understand why I had said that. We never talked about it. The next day was normal. Work, Thai food, another ride home. But something felt different. I noticed things about her I had not before. The way she pushed her hair back when she read. How she tapped her fingers on the desk when she was thinking. I did not call it anything. I just noticed. The 4th week, we were presenting to the client. Emma was leading, walking them through the data. I was beside her, answering questions. Halfway through, she reached for her pen. Her left hand was shaking. Not a lot, but enough that I saw it. She dropped the pen, laughed it off, said she had too much coffee. But her jaw tightened. She tucked her hand under the table. After the meeting, she left fast. I found her 20 minutes later in the parking lot, sitting in her car, staring straight ahead. I knocked on the window. She rolled it down. I asked if she was okay. She said she was fine. I asked again. She looked at me for a long moment and told me to get in. She did not start the car. Her left hand rested in her lap, still shaking. She told me she had Parkinson's, early onset, diagnosed 2 years earlier. She said medication helped most days, but stress made it worse. HR knew. Her boss knew. She was not hiding it, just not announcing it either. She told me she would understand if things were weird now, if I wanted to switch teams. I told her I did not want to. She nodded, started the car, and drove me home. When I got out, I leaned back in and said I would see her tomorrow. That was when people started noticing. I do not know when people started talking, only that by the end of that week I could feel it. Conversations paused when I walked up. Glances lingered a second too long. Someone from another team asked if Emma and I were close. I said we worked together. She nodded in a way that said she did not believe me. I told myself I did not care. Emma cared. She stopped asking if I wanted food. Stopped offering rides home. Everything turned professional. Emails instead of desk talks. Meeting notes instead of jokes. We still worked well together, maybe better than before. but there was a wall there now. Her hand shook more often. I saw it when she thought no one was watching. She would hide it under the table or in her pocket. One morning in the break room, she dropped her coffee mug. It shattered across the floor. People froze for a second, then looked away. Emma just stood there, staring at the pieces. I cleaned it up. She said thank you without looking at me, and walked out. That afternoon, HR called me in. Pam from hiring smiled too much. She asked how the project was going. I said fine. She said there had been some observations about me and Emma spending a lot of time together. She said it was not a problem, just wanted to make sure everything was appropriate. I said it was work. She said of course. Just checking. 2 days later, I got an email about a transfer offer. Different city. Promotion. Better pay. I had not applied for it, but sometimes they moved people around. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. It was a good opportunity. I thought about Emma. About telling her. I did not get the chance. The next morning, another email came in. Transfer offer rescinded. No explanation. Just no longer available. I asked my boss. He said he would look into it. He never did. At lunch that day, Mike from accounting did not sit with me. We always sat together on Thursdays. He waved from across the room and sat somewhere else. I texted him that night, asked if we were good. He said, yeah, just busy. We never talked again. I started pulling away. I am still not sure why. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was angry. Maybe I did not know what else to do. I stopped staying late, stopped offering to help, kept my head down and did my job. Emma noticed. She sent me one text, asked if I was okay. I did not answer. 3 days passed. On Friday, I came in early. The parking lot was almost empty except for her car. She was sitting inside with the windows up. I could see her face even from a distance. She was crying. I stood there longer than I should have. Then I walked over and knocked. She looked up, wiped her face, and rolled the window down. She said sorry and said she was fine. She was not. She cried harder. I asked what was wrong. She said she thought I was done. Done with this, whatever this was. She said she thought I had realized it was not worth it. I told her I thought she wanted space. She laughed, but it was not a happy sound. She said she was 41, had Parkinson's, and people at work were talking. She said I had lost a promotion. Why would she want space? She said she did not know what she wanted. I told her I did not either. We sat there like that. Her in the car. Me standing outside. I told her I was not leaving. She told me I should. I told her I was not. She asked why. I did not have a good answer. I still do not. She nodded and said okay. We did not label it. We did not talk about rules or expectations. We just kept going. I started staying late again. We worked. We ordered food. We talked about nothing important. Her hand shook most days. I pretended not to notice. She stopped apologizing for it. I met her family once. Her sister invited us to a birthday dinner. I went. They were polite. Asked about my job, my parents, normal things. But I felt the hesitation, the way her sister watched Emma when she thought I was not looking. On the drive home, Emma said I did not have to come to things like that. I told her I wanted to. She did not argue. Work got harder. I took contract work at a smaller firm. Less pay, fewer hours. But I could control my schedule. Emma stayed where she was. She needed the health insurance. Some days were bad. She would call me from her car because her hand was shaking too much to drive. I would go get her, drive her home, make sure she ate. Other days were normal, quiet, easy. We did not talk about the future. We did not make plans. We just kept going. One morning, I woke up at her place before the alarm went off. The room was quiet, the kind of quiet that only comes right before the city starts moving. I could hear a dog barking somewhere outside and a car starting down the street. I stayed still for a moment, then noticed she was not beside me. I found her in the kitchen making coffee. She was moving slowly, carefully. Her left hand trembled as she poured the water. Some of it spilled onto the counter. She wiped it up like it was nothing. When she turned and saw me standing there, she said good morning like it was any other day. She handed me a cup and sat across from me. We drank in silence for a while. The kind that does not feel awkward, just full. Then she said it again. She said I did not have to stay. She had said it so many times that the words barely surprised me anymore. I told her I knew. She asked me why I was still there. I did not have an answer that felt big enough. I told her I did not know. She nodded like that was enough. Life settled into something steady and strange. I worked contract jobs and came by her place in the evenings. Some nights she was tired and quiet. Other nights we talked until late about nothing important. Movies we had already seen. Places we used to like. Small things that filled the space. At work, people stopped pretending. Someone asked me straight out if I was dating her. I said yes. They raised their eyebrows. Someone else asked why. I did not answer. After that, the questions stopped, but the looks did not. Emma's symptoms got harder to ignore. Her hand shook more. Sometimes her leg would jerk when she was sitting still. She hated when people noticed. I learned how to step in without making it obvious. I would pick things up before they fell. Hold doors longer than necessary. Drive when she was tired. One night, she got frustrated and snapped at me. Told me she was not fragile. I told her I knew. We sat in silence after that, both of us staring at the floor. Later, she apologized. I told her she did not have to. We learned each other slowly like that. Through mistakes. Her family warmed to me in a careful way. Her sister stopped watching us so closely. Her mom hugged me goodbye once instead of just shaking my hand. Emma noticed. She did not say anything, but she held my hand tighter on the drive home. There were days I wondered what my life would have looked like if I had taken that transfer. New city, new job. Clean start. I thought about it when Emma had bad days. When she slept through alarms. When she cried in the shower because she thought I could not hear her. Those were the days leaving felt easier than staying. But then there were mornings like this one. Coffee cooling on the table. Sunlight coming through the window. Her across from me, tired but still smiling. Those moments made everything else feel smaller. One evening she told me she was scared. Not of the disease, but of being a reason someone else felt stuck. I told her I was not stuck. I told her I was choosing this. She did not argue, but she did not fully believe me either. We still did not talk about the future. No plans, no promises. Just showing up each day and seeing what it asked of us. Sometimes that was enough. Sometimes it was heavy. But it was real. And for the first time in a long while, my life did not feel temporary anymore. There was no moment where everything suddenly made sense. No big decision or clear line where I knew I had chosen the right thing. It was quieter than that. It was made up of small days stacked on top of each other. Emma's Parkinson's did not stay the same. Some months were manageable, others were not. Her medication changed. Her moods shifted. Some mornings she could barely button her shirt. Other days she moved almost like she used to. We learned not to celebrate the good days too much or fear the bad ones too deeply. We just adjusted. People kept talking. At work, outside of work, sometimes even family friends. About the age difference. About her health. About me wasting my time. I heard it all. Some said it to my face. Most said it when they thought I could not hear. After a while, it blended into background noise. What stayed loud were the quiet moments with her. Like the night the power went out during a storm and we ate cereal by candlelight. Or the afternoon she got frustrated trying to write a grocery list and ended up laughing at herself. Or the way she leaned into me in public. Not hiding, not explaining, just existing. I would be lying if I said I never thought about leaving. I did. On hard days. On days when I felt tired, in a way sleep did not fix. On days when I wondered who I might have been if my life had gone another way. But every time I imagined walking away, I imagined her kitchen without me in it. Her car without someone to call when her hands shook too badly. Her mornings alone. And I knew I would carry that with me forever. One evening, months later, we sat on her couch watching a movie we had both already seen. She rested her head on my shoulder. Her hand trembled lightly against my chest. She looked up at me and asked if I was still sure. I told her I was not sure about anything, but I was sure I was still here. She smiled. Not a big one, just enough. We never called it brave. Never called it sacrifice. We never turned it into a story that sounded better than it was. Some days were beautiful, some days were exhausting, most days were just normal. And that was the part no one seemed to understand. I did not stay because it was easy. I stayed because leaving felt like pretending none of it mattered. And it did. She did. Love did care about age. It cared about illness. It cared about what people said and what the future might hold. It cared about all of it. I stayed anyway. Not because I was strong. Not because I had answers. Just because, every day I woke up, staying felt more honest than walking away. So we kept going.